欢迎光临 Veggie Power is the clean power. Welcome to Meatless Kitchen and Market, where we cook fresh and clean. Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Sally Wei. I have to apologize first that we have a little bit technical issue that we were unable to go live on the stream. So now I'm making this recording for you to watch later on. Today, I want to show you two of my favorites in the tea time. One is called London Fog, and it's a latte. You know, latte in Italian means milk. Of course, we're going to use the plant-based milk to make our London Fog. And why is it called London Fog? You probably want to guess. Because we're using the tea, it's called Earl Grey. And that was the first discovered or invented in London. That tea house that claimed they have the original recipe is Twinings. So we are going to use Twinings Earl Grey tea to make our London Fog today. First of all, we have to boil some hot water. So the water, when it's boiled, that is the temperature perfect for black tea. Black tea is normally used the highest temperature. So we want to make sure that our water has reached the high temperature that the black tea love to have a bath. Also, before we make the tea, we must warm up our teapot. The teapot is so huge and that you can feel that it's cold. And when the hot water comes in, that body of this teapot will absorb some heat, which will take the temperature that black tea like away. So we will have to warm up the teapot first. Okay, now we have our tea boiled. First of all, warm up teapot, fill about halfway through, and let it sit for about 30 seconds or so, or you can feel the warmth on the tea lid. Sometimes I want to expedite the process, and then we'll just swirl. I can feel it now. Of course, we don't want to waste the water here. I normally collect this water and water my plants. Okay, so let's put it somewhere. Be right back. Okay, now the teapot is ready. I am going to use 2 tablespoons. This is about 2 cups in the teapot. So I will use 2 tablespoons of teas. But for the Western style of brewing, you also want to add 1 extra spoon for the pot. This is for 2 people, so 1 person, 2 people, and for the pot. Okay, so now we have our tea leaves. Then we'll fill this up. And let it brew. So what I'm going to brew is for 5 minutes. Let's set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay. So while it's brewing, then I'm going to go on to prepare for our London Fog pudding. First of all, I would like to measure a cup of non-dairy milk. So today I'm going to use the almond milk that I made this morning. Let's pour 1 cup into the pot. And if you're curious about the ingredient and the recipe, I have included below the film, the video, so you get to see. Let's boil this. When it boils, then we'll add our tea leaves to it. And yes, we are going to brew our tea in the milk. Okay, while we're waiting for this to brew and waiting for this to boil, then I have other prep I would like to do. Here's a bowl, because we're making a pudding. But because the pudding does not require any eggs, so what we're going to do is we're going to use agar-agar powder and cornstarch to replace our egg. So here we go. Now I'm going to choose this. Agar-agar only needs about 1/4 teaspoon. So here's a 1/4 teaspoon. Here we go. And then we'll have some cornstarch, which I will need 1½ teaspoon. 1½ teaspoon. 1 and half. This needs to be mixed well in cold water. So right here, I will add 2 tablespoons of water. In order to avoid any lumpy situation, you must dissolve this in the cold water and use a whisk to whisk it. This will be added into our milk later. Of course, we haven't had that yet. So mix very, very well for later use. Agar-agar. It's like a jello, but it's vegan. It's made of seaweed. And this type of powder you can find in a health food store, but they tend to price it very expensive. What you can do is that you can go to any Asian market, and this is the brand, very popular, or you can actually get this on Amazon. I learned there's a company called Living Gene from Los Angeles. They carry very well made agar-agar. Okay, this is all mixed well. And what I need more over here is I want to measure some sugar for our pudding. Here we go. And I need 1/8 cup of sugar. So we're going to wait it for later. Leave it over here. And hope my milk is doing well. And of course, I will need some pure vanilla. When you want to use some vanilla, try not to use the one that says imitation. It does have the taste, but it just don't, it's not pure. Okay, we want a pure fruit. Okay. So now it's all ready. Oh, I want to introduce you a couple more gadgets over here. You need a strainer. Later, you have to pour the tea liquor out to a different vessel because you don't want the tea to sit in the teapot for a long time. That will bring out the astringency and the bitterness, which is not very pleasant. Okay, let's see. Oh, I have 3 seconds. Then we'll strain this out to this one. And I will show you what I'm going to do with the latte part. Here is something I've inquired. It's like a frother. But if you're electric one, that's fine. If you don't have one, you can even use a French press. Like you just whisk it fast. Okay. Now our 5 minutes is up. So now I am going to use some of my homemade almond milk and I'll frost it up. It's very easy to frost with manual work. It's done. Okay, now let's make our London Fog latte. Here we go. We are going to strain it carefully. Sometimes you may forget about it and brew the tea a little bit stronger. At that moment, if you just drink it alone, it may be too strong. But my suggestion is put some milk and some sugar, and that will solve your problem. Okay, now I have the very well brewed tea. Whoa, if you can smell that bergamot from Earl Grey, you will see what I'm saying. Okay, because we're making a delicious latte, so I'm gonna add a drop of vanilla. to it. And because I don't want to put too much sugar to it, so today I am going to offer maple syrup, but we're going to add it later individually. Okay, so here I will whisk a little bit. Make sure my tea is all nicely combined. And we'll have some milk. And I want some foam, and that's why I'm doing that. You could heat up your milk, but if you think it just, don't bother. I'm going to add some milk to it. Okay, and here my milk is boiling as well. Then I will add the foamed milk to it. And there we go. That's our London fog. I am going to serve it in a nice cup. Let's see. Let's move our gadget away. And we don't need this anymore. We'll put these away. And this I'm going to serve my cameraman. And let's get him a little foam. Okay. And I want to garnish it with a couple drops of lavender from my yard. And there we go. We have our London fog latte. Okay, now let's get on our pudding part. Here's the milk. As you can see, we have our milk all boiled. So now I'm going just to add the tea to it. All we need is 1 tablespoon. And then we'll let it sit for about 5 minutes. Or even if it's longer, it's fine. Okay, here's our tea. Directly go into the milk. Let it cook a little bit. Close the lid. And let it simmer for about 5 minutes. I think I have everything already set up. So let's see how long will take our milk to finish. In the same time, I would like to cheers. Lovely. Well, I'm going to take this time to show you I made some of the pudding earlier. So this is what it's going to look like. I have tested, put it on a metal container, or this is my favorite. This is actually silicone mold. That's very easy. See, I can even pop it out, right? Easily. And let's see if we dump nicely. Ta-da! This is our pudding. Can you believe it? Without any egg. So I would like to show you what it looks like. So very jiggly, very jiggly. Okay. Ooh, my tea is already all puffed up. This you don't want to happen to you when you're talking. To enjoy. Over. So our tea is ready. I should say tea milk is ready. Then I'm going to strain it. You do not want to have tea bits in the pudding. So here we are going to strain. And I'm going to wash this pot. Be right back. We're going to put it back into the pot so we can cook it over. Agar needs to be cut. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Now we're going to put it back. Since this one does not even make it to 1 cup, sometimes you will lose some milk So here we go. That's why I use a container like this, so I know I have exactly the correct amount of milk. You can add some more milk back, and then we will pour it back to the pot and let it cook. Then this time, I'm going to add some vanilla. Just that. Or if you want to measure it, it's fine. I'm a big fan of vanilla, by the way. 1/8 cup of sugar. Like other kind of sugar, it's fine too. Then here's our mixture: agar-agar and cornstarch. Make sure you whisk well before you add in, but you want to add when the liquid is not very hot. Keep swirling, gradually put it in, and make sure you cook the liquid until it boils. Why? Agar-agar needs to be boiled and completely dissolved in hot water in order to activate the thickness. And we're going to let it cook until it starts to boil. At this moment, if you are actually whisking, don't be afraid to put on the high heat, but make sure you're really, really careful with the liquid. Right. Well, while it's cooking, and I just want to let you know when it's done, you want to pour it into the cup and put in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours. Then you get to enjoy. Okay, well, I have had this made, so I am going to enjoy my pudding now. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming and for watching. I'm very sorry about the technical issue, but please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like it, turn on the bell so you'll be notified for next episode. Well, bye, everybody. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.